Has WWE found their equivalent to The Shield? We'll also get into what's new for Sami Zayn, Tiffany Stratton, and more. Starting things off with Fatal Influence and what's being said about them right now. Fatal Influence got called up to the main roster immediately after WrestleMania 42, and their main roster run got off to a very hot start. They kicked things off by confronting Rhea Ripley on night 1 of their main roster run. And then from there, they continued to face some of the biggest stars in the Smackdown women's division. They were in the ring with Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and so much more. Plus, they were scoring pinfall victories over these stars as well. On top of these major wins they were scoring, they also appeared to be getting genuine heat from the live crowds. Crowds were booing Fatal Influence in an authentic way and proving for sure that the group was a legitimate heel force. After their flamin' hot start on SmackDown, Fatal Influence did cool down for a bit there in the months after their debut, but not that long ago, in July, the group picked things up and got red hot once again. Fatal Influence members Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed were able to defeat Brie Bella and Paige in order to dethrone them of the WWE Women's Tag Team titles at Saturday night's main event. That's when it started to seem like Fatal Influence was getting back on track again. And now, just a few weeks after that, the group has added one more piece of championship gold, and that's the WWE Women's United States title for Jacy Jayne. The group did what every trio in WWE dreams of doing, and that's having everyone in the group with a piece of championship gold at the same time. It's a goal every trio has, but it's not something that every trio actually accomplishes. So it's a big deal here that barely 4 months into their main roster run, Fatal Influence has already accomplished this achievement and has a piece of gold on every single member, easily making them the most successful women's trio that the company has seen in quite some time. Maybe the most successful on the main roster since Damage Control. So what Fatal Influence is doing here is special, and is definitely already putting them in a higher tier, no doubt about it. Not only are they establishing their names in the women's division, but a lot of fans even comparing Fatal Influence to The Shield, talking about how this is starting to feel like a female version of The Shield. And everyone means it as a compliment. The Shield came into WWE and they were serious about their mission from the very first day. They wanted to come in, take over, and show everyone that the new generation had arrived whether they liked it or not. And it wasn't long after the Shield's debut that the three of them captured the tag team titles and the United States. The same exact titles that Fatal Influence currently holds. So you can definitely see why fans are making all these parallels between the Shield and Fatal Influence. They both had the same mission, they both captured the same titles, and both had that momentum and dominance on their side. And this is making fans wonder if Fatal Influence really has the potential to be as impactful and memorable as the Shield was. The Shield left their permanent mark in WWE. They left a mark so big, they still get talked about and mentioned 12 years later. So could Fatal Influence really have that same effect on the women's division? Will Fatal Influence's run together in WWE turn out to be so epic that we're talking about them in another decade from now? These are the types of questions that fans are asking after the group just became triple champions. During a recent interview with Sam Roberts, Fatal Influence leader Jacy Jayne actually welcomed and loved the comparison her group was getting to the Shield. Jacy acknowledged that both groups had a similar mindset and goal, and how she really takes it as a huge compliment for her group to already be labeled as the female version of the Shield. And it's nice to see a dominant faction in the women's division. There's been a handful of legendary factions in the men's division, and a handful of decent ones in the history of the women's division as well, but the women's division could definitely use a really dominant and legendary faction, and that's what everyone is hoping that Fatal Influence turns out to be. Everyone is really hoping for the best for them right here. As far as what's next for the group, we should definitely expect to see this reign as triple champions last for a decent amount of time. None of those 3 titles are going anywhere anytime soon, so we should definitely expect to see their dominance continue in the SmackDown women's division. The only women's title they don't control on SmackDown is the main WWE women's title that Chelsea Green currently holds. But like we saw a few weeks back, Fatal Influence already holds a pinfall victory over Chelsea Green, So who knows if they eventually come for that title as well. The whole SmackDown women's division appears to be running through Fatal Influence, and we'll see just how far their reign will go. Life has not been that easy for Sami Zayn in recent memory on SmackDown. He won the WWE Championship, everything had suddenly clicked and was going right for him. But that lasted all of 9 days before bad luck started returning for Sami Zayn. And that strain of just unfortunate events really kicked off with his one and only title defense. Sami Zayn was set to defend his WWE title on Raw against Cody Rhodes. But Cody gets hurt and CM Punk ends up being the replacement. CM Punk would then dethrone Sami Zayn right there and end that short title reign. Sami Zayn was livid and mentioned how none of it made any sense. Sami mentioned how the undisputed WWE title is a SmackDown title, so he had no idea why he was even defending it on Raw. Sami was also furious that CM Punk can get a WWE title match fresh off of multiple months of being at home. Sami's crying and complaining eventually got him a #1 contender's opportunity against Finn at SummerSlam. But even that went wrong as well. That went from a singles match, where Sami had a 50% chance of winning, and then turned into a fatal 4-way match with the inclusion of Kevin Owens and Gunther, dropping Sami's odds of winning down to just 25%. So Sami was furious that that match was being turned into a 4-way match. And then, just recently on SmackDown, Sami Zayn had a match set for the main event with the stipulation being that if he beat Cody Rhodes, he'll be next in line for a WWE Championship match. But as Sami was making his entrance for that match right there, Randy Orton attacks Cody Rhodes and the SmackDown main event never gets officially started, canceling the match once again and screwing over Sami Zayn. So it's not easy at all right now being Sami Zayn. Nothing ever goes in your favor, and it feels like whatever can go wrong most definitely will go wrong. So that appears to be Sami's main direction and usage right now. Sami still feels like he's owed a WWE title opportunity, but every time he gets closer to it, something unpredictable happens to just push him back even further and away from that goal. It definitely feels like we'll hear more complaining from Sami Zayn in the coming weeks, and we'll have to see if he does get closer to that undisputed title again. Tiffany Stratton just provided an update on her pro wrestling retirement timeframe. Tiffany Stratton recently revealed that she sees herself wrestling for maybe right around 10 more years, and now she's viewing the age of 35 as her retirement age. Tiffany Stratton also called out the fans that are always saying that she's not fully committed to pro wrestling. Tiffany says she's fully committed and loves what she does in the ring and isn't going anywhere at all until she reaches around that age of 35. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.